back. Oh my God, it's time for another one of these Kiss album reviews that I had them all up on this channel but been taken down because of copyright stuff. So in the link below, I put a link, BitChute, over at BitChute, all my original Kiss reviews that I put up on this channel over 10 years ago. They're all now at BitChute, and each month I will keep bringing one up like I am this month, putting a link down there. And this month it's Rock and Roll Over, the 5th studio album from Kiss, released in 1976. And you know what was also released in 1976 is Destroyer, because back then they would release like 2 albums a year. It was insane. And it was recorded at the Star Theater in New York and by Eddie Kramer. And to get the proper drum sound, Peter Criss recorded his track in a bathroom, communicating via video link to the rest of the band. This is the first Kiss album to not feature a writing credit from Ace Frehley. And many of the songs that appear on this album were developed before or during Destroyer. 3 of Gene's songs are clear reworkings of demos from 1975. And like Calling Dr. Love is reworked from Bad Bad Lovin', and Ladies Room is based on Don't Want Your Romance, and Love 'Em and Leave 'Em is based on Rock and Roll Royce. You know, Baby Driver is a rewrite of a Peter Criss Stan Pendridge demo from Chris's pre-Kiss band Lips. And Hard Luck Woman, a song that Paul really wrote for Rod Stewart, was held to provide Criss with a ballad to sing following the success of Beth. Rock and Roll Over was released by Casablanca Records on November 11, 1976, and peaked at number 11 on the Billboard charts. The cover artwork is by artist Michael Dorett, who worked with Kiss again in 2009 Sonic Boom. Inside the sleeve was a sticker of the cover art and glossy photo press release pamphlet. The live album, King Among Scotland by Anthrax, pays homage to this artwork. Hard Luck Woman did not equal the success of Beth, but became another top 20 single, as did Calling Dr. Love. Alright, another part of the backstory was when they released Destroyer, it didn't get, you know, positive reviews and the fans didn't like it. It didn't sound like the first 3 albums, so the band panicked and went back in the studio to record a hard rockin' album. And while they were doing this, Beth exploded and became this huge hit. So, but they already started on Rock and Roll Over, and it was already a hard rockin' album. And as you can see, Paul wrote Hard Luck Woman for Rod Stewart, and then when Beth became huge, they're like, hey, I'm gonna give this to Peter Criss. And man, it's wild how this one didn't do as good as Beth, because I feel like it's a much better song. And I love Beth, but I just think Hard Luck Woman was a perfect song, especially back then in the 70s with that, you know, country tinge to it. Yeah, it was a top 20 hit, but man, to me it should have been a number 1. But I love this album so much. As far as like the album with the original Kiss members, this would be my favorite. I love the way this album sounds more than any Kiss album. I love Eddie Kramer, man. Eddie Kramer did the Ace Frehley solo album, which is Perfection, which I even like more than Rock and Roll Over. It's my favorite album with the Kiss logo on it. He also did Kiss Alive. You know, I mean, shit, I would even put Kiss Alive over Rock and Roll Over. But it's a live album. Talking studio, Rock and Roll Over, man. And he also did the demos, you know, for the first Kiss album, which I think are phenomenal. And he did Love Gun. I mean, this guy did Kiss's best albums, in my opinion. And yeah, I Want You, the opening track, is what changed my life. That song literally changed my life. When my friend Dale played Rock and Roll Over for me at his house, and I heard the song I Want You, I don't remember anything off that album. That song, I Want You, I needed to own this badly. And I went to the record store to buy Rock and Roll Over. They didn't have it, but they did have Double Platinum, which had I Want You. So I bought that, and I became a fanatic of that album and that song, you know. Double Platinum's amazing. And yeah, then I got Rock and Roll Over, but yeah. I Want You is a smoking tune, man. Take Me, you know, it's a fun song, Take Me. Wacky ass lyrics. But in the end, you know what? I'm going to rank like I've been doing. I've been ranking these songs. So I will talk about each song as I rank it. And there are 10 tracks on this album. So here's, and by the way, I love every song on this album. I think they're all great. So here we go at number 10. I love this song. Love it more than the version that's on Gene Simmons' solo album. See You in Your Dreams. I think it's a great, great tune, man. I just like 9 songs more than it. But I love it. Then, Baby Driver. Love it. I love Peter's screams on it. Just a rockin' tune. Number 8. Goofy, cheesy, and awesome. Love 'em and leave 'em. Love it. Pretty cool they did a video for this song, which is really weird. How they didn't do a video for Calling Dr. Love, that it was a single. And they did a video for Love 'em, Leave 'em, which is a song that I don't believe they ever did live back then. Very, very odd choice to record that as video. But you know what? It's awesome that they did. I dig it. Number 7, Take Me. I think it's a rockin' tune, you know, I mean, this is a song that they did add to the set list, and, you know, it is a fan favorite, and I like, you know, 6 songs more than this one, but I dig Take Me. Number 6, Ladies Room. I do prefer the version on Kiss Alive 2, but it's still a rockin' tune. It's a fun song. And I love Gene Simmons' bass lines. People think that Gene Simmons is not a bass player, a good bass player. People are thinking wrong. Listen to what he does on the first 3 albums, and listen to what he does on Ladies Room. It's very McCartney-esque, amazing. All right, at number 5, Mr. Speed. Come on. That's a fan favorite that a lot of people will put much higher on their list than me. But I do love Mr. Speed. I think it rocks. At 4, my all-time favorite Kiss ballad, Hard Luck Woman. Absolutely love it. I wish Rod Stewart would have recorded it. I would love to hear 70s Rod Stewart sing that, you know. It would have been awesome to hear that. All right, number 3, Dr. Love, or Calling Dr. Love, which Gene got the inspiration from the Three Stooges, like Calling Dr. Howard and this and that. That's where he got the inspiration for the title of Calling Dr. Love. Ripping tune, awesome, classic, love it. And I remember, man, the first time I saw Kiss was Creature of the Night Tour, and they played Dr. Love, and it was great. But they didn't play Dr. Love till Hot in the Shade after I saw him that time. And I was like, why did they stop playing Dr. Love? It's such a classic, you know? Anyway, all right, the top 2. Oh, man. Number 2. Yeah, I know many wouldn't put this at number 2 or number 1, but Making Love. Rips. What a riff. And, man, Ace Frehley may have not written any song on this album, but, geez, that's one of the greatest Ace Frehley guitar solos. Completely rips. Absolutely love Making Love at number 2. And at number 1, my life-changing song, I Want You. That song completely changed my life. And it written by Paul Stanley, and I Want You is a great example why Paul Stanley, to me, was the greatest songwriter in Kiss. You know, here on this album, he did this and Hard Luck Woman, which is amazing, and Take Me. You know, and Mr. Speed, he was on fire, man. He was definitely on fire during this era. And that is my ranking of Rock and Roll Over. So hey, if you want to see the original version where I add music, the music of Rock and Roll Over, video footage, pictures from that era, click down there on BitTorrent, and you get to see the original that used to be on this channel. And I want to thank you all for watching, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. I would appreciate that. And what do you think of Rock and Roll Over? Leave it in the comments below, and like the video. It's good for the YouTube algorithms. So stay frosty, listen to Black Sabbath, and schmack 'em a gob.